We're back live again on YouTube. So in case we have people watching us on YouTube, today is 2nd of November. This is the second day of the African History Month here in Ireland. For those of you that might have watched the first clip, I basically introduce myself and tell you about the story behind how this African History Month started. And just to bring us up to speed and let us know that this is the only place in the universe as of today, anyway, that I know, that celebrates the African History Month. And there's a lot of people that do talk about African history, but as Ireland is still the only country that set aside a month in which we celebrate African History Month. And that started since 2010 by myself. Like I said, I was just being entrusted by God to do this, and I'm grateful that so many people has joined me in the journey of doing it. So this evening I have a guest. I have Helen Kelly with me. She's based here in Ireland, and we're going to just talk basically about all things Africa. Helen, tell us, what part of African nation are you from?
I'm from Nigeria.
Sisters in the house, I guess.
Yeah, I'm from
So,
Nigeria.
yeah, sisters in the house. So tell me, what part of Nigeria are you from?
So I'm from the East,
Okay,
Abia State, but I literally grew up in the South.
which is Lagos?
No, I was born in Lagos,
Okay,
but I grew up in Delta State,
Delta State. Okay, okay, okay.
and then I
So,
went to school in Benin and then Port Harcourt.
oh, you're lucky then. You've been nearly everywhere. You've been around a lot
Yeah,
of
I've been
states.
around in Nigeria.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, you've been around a lot of states. Um, East is one of this is another we have four major languages, but normally we have three, but four major ones. Um, three major language pronounced, but then four. The fourth one would be the Delta, the Middle Belt
yeah,
languages.
yeah. The Middle
But
East. Yeah.
yeah, so but where you're from, which is the East, is one of the second major language we have in Nigeria,
Mm-hmm.
which is
Mm-hmm.
Igbo,
Yeah.
Igbo in itself. And in Nigeria, like I said, we have three major languages. We have the Yoruba, the Hausas, and then we have the Igbo. So the reason I said it's technically four or five is that we have the Fulanese, but the Fulani is not as much as, because Fulani language is actually different from Hausa.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of people don't even know that. So they're totally different. Um, and then we have the Middle Belt. But apart from that, three major languages which we have, English is official language in Nigeria. And then we have 365 dialects from all the states. As of today, I think we have 36 states.
Yeah.
So,
And the FCT. Yeah.
yeah, in Nigeria. So it's a big country. A lot of
It
people call
is.
it Giant of Africa. Do you go with that?
Well, we are the giants of Africa.
So let's say technically, in terms of
Yeah, we're not
population,
fulfill. I would say we're the giants of Africa. We're just not fulfilling
we're not just
our
fit
purpose.
exactly. We're not living up to the name. That's the way we should say
Yeah.
it. We're not
Yeah.
living up to that name because in itself, we have the largest population in Africa, in the entire Africa. In terms of resources, we still have one of the largest. I know Congo is also another place, and there's other places as well. But yeah, I say we're not
Yeah.
living up to it
We
because
we have we have the largest resources. We're just not
living up
making
to
use
it.
of them.
So tell me a little bit about what you know personally about Nigeria or about your own culture itself. What would you like
Okay.
people to know about your culture?
Well, the Igbo culture is a very unique one, even though it varies from one eastern state to the other, but we do have like a uniqueness to our culture because we love money. We love
Anywhere there's
money.
money.
We know how to make the money and
Yeah,
we know how to spend the money.
yeah,
Yeah, that's the Igbos for you.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
we are very industrious. Like, you will find us anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, anywhere, doesn't matter where, you will find an able person anywhere you go, right? No
Yeah.
matter how hot, how cold, how
Bad it is.
deserted, you
Yeah.
will find an able person. And you will not just find an able person, you will find them doing great things.
Great things. Yeah. Yeah.
They are very business oriented. Yeah, like they don't even need to go to school to learn about business. It's like it's more like follow come. You're
Yeah.
born
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're born
I
with
will
it.
actually, I'm sorry to cut you in there. I will actually say that you learn business even outside the school, because most of the things you do in the school is just theoretical in
Yeah,
itself. But learning the acts of trading itself, you're learning outside the school environment.
true.
And
Hmm.
I've seen people copy the model, the Igbo model of trading.
Yeah,
I was actually watching something on TikTok, and this is another nation itself, and they were talking about the model of trading that the Yibo people have, in terms of one person, which is the masters, has the money for the business, and then he also
trains other
learn
boys and all. Yeah,
train other people how to do the business, and then start them up doing the business, and then giving them a shop near them next, and that before you know it, they occupied all the territory with those boys, and each of them have standing on their own, having their own families, and starting their own resources. And he was actually selling it as a model, that that is what they use, and they now gave it a name. But he was now saying that it is traced back to the Igbo culture
Igbo culture.
in
Yeah,
Nigeria, which is one of the beautiful thing about being industrials.
yeah.
And the way they do that, Elaine, is so good, because you don't have to pay uh, um, interest on the loan that your master is going to give you, because
Yeah.
you've already served him. And when you're serving him, he feeds you, he clothes you, he does everything. But you've served him by working for him without being paid for the job itself. But yeah, you've been fed and you're not paying for the training.
Actually, no, actually they pay you. Like
Oh, they do pay again as well.
You're not
Oh,
serving for free because they pay you, which you used to help your family back home and all.
back home.
So
So
that
you're
salary is,
getting that. You're
yeah,
getting the training as well for free. It's just your commitment,
it's your
and
commitment.
your loyalty, I'll say
Yeah,
loyalty to him, until you finish your trading, and then he gives you money again to start up another one.
yeah.
So, and what happens is that if for any reason the master runs out of money, all the boys will gather and support him, and
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
yeah,
Like they started that without even knowing what they were actually doing.
yeah,
But
yeah.
it's a beautiful process. Like, okay, I know this person, I know this family, let me help. And they go, your children go live with them and learn all the, like they don't hide the ins and outs of the business from you
Mm,
because they know that at the long run they want you established
yeah,
also, right?
yeah.
Then they settle you to go do your own thing, which is very beautiful because
It's so beautiful, and it's selfless.
it
It's so
is.
selfless, it's a very good selfless, and
I
it's
always say,
charitable as well. It's just so many things you can call it. Yeah.
I always say that if the Igbos were given like a bit of authority, or if it was looked into, if this process was looked into without any selfish interest or anything, Nigeria would not have to be getting loans from anywhere.
Yeah.
Countries will be coming to us to do business, and like we would have one of the biggest exports because if you go to Aba or Onitsha, right? If you see the amazing things they do there,
Mm,
these people have never been in a classroom.
mm,
They have never been like, they have never been in a training, right? Where you
mm.
give them all
Using
the
technology or whatever it is.
technology and all
Yeah.
this, but there is nothing you take to them that, oh, I would like to make this, that they cannot produce for you.
So I will actually say that the uh the East is an industrial hub.
It is.
And they are doing the same thing that they do in China. Because one of the things
Like,
China does is that it utilizes the fact that he has the numbers in terms of population, and then he has the machine
yeah,
with the people, and this is how they trade. So whatever you want to produce, you want to sew clothes, you want to design, you want to become a designer, you want to start selling things, take it to them, they get it done for you,
they get
and
it done. Like they
in
get
in
the
in numbers, in
so
numbers.
like Aba and Onitsha are like the
They're
business hub,
yeah,
just like
they are the
China
trade
and Japan,
industrial hub in
right?
Nigeria. And if any government could just look into that, and invest into it. But I know that sometimes, the way we think everything has to come from the federal. No, in East, they have states. And if the governors of those states can all say, wait, let's say I think there are three or four or five of them. Let's come together. Each state put this money down each year that we are in power, and this money goes to a committee that runs uh, manage the hub, the industrial hub, and this goes to there. And if every year a certain amount of money is allocated for them specifically to turn the place into the the greatest hope we can have in the entire universe. It is possible, but like you
It
said, selfishness, selfishness.
if, even if they don't form a committee, like if just each
Yeah,
governor
yeah.
decides to
Put the
let
money there.
their states work, like put in the resources to let their states work, they will produce the best.
They will. They
Like
will.
the recent Abia State governor, like Abia State has been suffering for so long
Wow.
because it's from one bad government to the
Another.
other because they are not taking care of the roads and like there was no technically there was no road.
Yeah.
All the roads were bad, but now we have a governor who is working, right? I know about this godfatherism and the rest of them, and I'm so glad that he's not leaning towards godfatherism and all, but he's actually working. And
Yeah.
that's why you're able to see a bit of establishment coming into the country, into the states
Yeah.
at the moment. Like just the good road network, it means a lot. It means a whole lot. Like even the trains, just for the trains to have good working train network, like means a whole lot. So that it allows business to flow, right? You're able to export and import things freely when there's a good road network, be it the train, be it the cars,
Lorries,
like
whatever it is.
just
Even
anything.
even the bike, whatever means of transportation. If you have a good means of transportation from one place to another, it doesn't matter how far or short it is. If it is good, it is good, and it just makes the difference. It makes the entire difference if you could have that. So you're totally right. I'm just hoping that, somehow these people will be touched in a way whereby they understand how important it is and what we have, because we have so many things that we can use to flourish as a nation
Yeah.
without dividing, and then benefiting from each other. Um, and we have it already. We don't
But
need,
that's the thing. The government knows that
yeah.
we have these things, and they know that if we're united, things will work the
I
way
don't
they
know. I
should.
don't know why they
But
don't want us to be. Yeah,
they put those disputes here and there
yeah,
and try to um, make one tribe go against the next tribe.
yeah.
And all this is just for their own political benefits, right?
Tribalism.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which doesn't help the masses or anything like that.
Mm.
But if we should all come together because the Yorubas are industrious,
Yes.
The Hausas are industrious. The
Yeah.
Igbos are industrious. Like every state in Nigeria have a uniqueness to them.
Uniqueness to them in
The
different
the
feeds,
thieves,
what they do differently.
Benins,
I
the
think Yorubas
Calabar.
were known for farming at the time. The Hausas too were known for farming, and Yorubas were specifically known for trading, buying and selling and doing. Yes, the Igbos were industrious. They do the production. They can produce anything. Just give it to them. They make it happen. The
Like
Hausas were
I'm
into farming.
where
Yeah.
I'm from in Abia State, like it's not far off from Akwa Ibom, right?
Mm,
And we have these days we call market days, right? Where those from Akwa Ibom actually come over to sell their goods and vice versa. Yeah.
mm,
Like when there's no political madness, when there's no political fight or all, you see us united. We're able to actually coexist with each other
mm,
and carry each other along because what I produce, you may not be able to produce, but
mm.
I need what you're producing
Yeah.
also, right?
Yeah.
So just that togetherness is what the government doesn't want because if everyone is united,
Mm.
then they are greedy.
It will show that they are doing
It will
nothing.
show. Yeah. It's
It will
all their
definitely show
greed
that
and
they are
all
doing
will show.
nothing.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's why they need that tribalism thing
Yeah.
to keep dividing the country so that
Mm.
they're able to use this as a tool for every
Yeah.
election, right? And that's why they deny you of basic rights. So that's when election come, they're able to promise you those simple basic rights, which you're
Yeah.
actually supposed to already have,
Yeah.
right?
So let's talk about some of the things that is similar between Africa as a nation, but specifically we speak about Nigeria today to Ireland. There's something you mentioned there. You talk about market days. You know, this is something that has been so unique within the culture of Igbos as well, nearly everywhere in Nigeria, and where we have a market day whereby the farmers they farm, after they've bring the crops is out, they take their crops and they take it to the market, and everybody brings theirs to the market to sell. And you see that happen in Ireland here as well. We have a lot of different marketplaces. We have the boot market, the car market, boot sales markets. We have the farmers markets, whereby the farmer comes in, they bring. So, when there's an adage in my language that says that if you've not left your father's farm, you would think your father's farm is the
Is
biggest,
the only, yeah.
is the only one until you go to someone else. But now that we come into this country, I can see the similarities in our culture. And then you might feel that, oh, these are village peoples. No, it's normal. It's a normal way of a community. That is how a community developed.
Yeah.
You start from there. You have your produce, you take it to the market. Each person brings their own produce to the market, and the people comes and buy. In before it's trade by barter in the sense that you bring what you have, I have this, and we exchange based on
Yeah.
the value we place on those things. You give me this, I give you that. You do this, and everybody has. And it's similar here in Ireland as well. There's this marketplace, different marketplaces, and they're still doing it up to today. Though we are seeing that in Nigeria as something that is old, it's never old because even the big shops goes to the farmers and take from them. And
Mm-hmm.
what they do is that they go to different farmers and buy the same produce. When you have good money, you can give the farmers. That's another thing that I see that there's a certain shop here, how they do that. They give farmers big money to produce more for them and specifically for them. And a lot of people come to Africa, come to Nigeria specifically, to go and meet the farmers and give them money and say, okay, give us as many as this
Mm-hmm.
from your produce. So I love that similarities. There's so many, many other
There's so
similarities.
many
Yeah.
similarities. Yeah.
I remembered when I used to go to the museum to do programs in the museum. And one of the first time we went, I saw an iron that is similar the type of charcoal iron that we use back in my hometown, and mostly is used by the tailors, which are the sewing mistress. they use it to iron clothes when they are sewing until they finish the clothes. So I saw it at the museum and they were telling me the story about it to say, oh, that was what they used before to sew, before the new electronic irons that
Iron,
we
yeah,
have these days. But one thing that I saw about this culture, which is different from our culture, is that we quickly condemn things and just put it aside, destroy them. We don't preserve the things we use in the olden, like the lanterns, all those things. We don't preserve it and create like a museum whereby we can put them and people can actually come and see those things. So whereas here, what they do is that when those things are out of date, as in when they have new things, they preserve them by keeping them,
yes,
creating a place where people can go and actually, and they use that to create job, they use it to create opportunity for memories, for shared culture, for excitement. And I hope that we can start doing things like that back home in Nigeria by we
yeah,
preserve our things that we feel that yes, they might be out of date because of the new technology, but they are treasure to us if we can keep them. So yeah. So tell me, it's good to chat with you. Tell us about what you're doing here in Ireland. I know you have something on Instagram that you're doing. You're also promoting African Irish culture. And I'm looking forward to us working collaborative together because I'm doing something that you're doing. I love when I see people that aligns with my vision. Um, I have this group which I've shared with you, which is African and Irish group. And then I see that you're doing something similar like that as well. So tell me, what inspired you to do that?
okay. So, like we come here, and sometimes it's lonely. Sometimes it's just like, oh, all my family are back home, and I'm the only one here. How do I navigate things? Who do I go to? And oh, like when I came, there were times it was so lonely, like it was really lonely and all. So yeah, I was just coming out of maternity leave, and I was thinking to myself, like, there are so many things I've said I wanted to do, especially with Africans, and I'm like, um just the fact that we're an island, right? We're not taken away from their culture, but there's a way we can integrate and coexist, right? So why don't I just get Africans to share their story, because there's so many wrong narratives everywhere. But if we get Africans to actually share their own stories and act, like tell it from their own perspective, tell it from their own personal stories, that it will make people get a lot of insights and ideas that okay, there's more to this people, there is more to this, and yeah, that's what inspired
That's what
the whole
inspired it.
thing. Yeah.
So the page is called African Irish.
Irish
So
Africans.
Irish Africans is on Instagram page, and what you basically do is you do interviews for Irish Africans. So if there's anybody on YouTube watching this is going to be on our Facebook page as well. We're going to put it on Instagram as well. So if there's anybody watching this and you would like to be interviewed, you like to talk to
To share
Helen,
your story. Yeah.
share your stories, share your
It's your
story.
story, like whatever you're comfortable with. We're
Yes,
not putting words in your mouth or anything. It's what,
your story,
like,
your word. Yeah.
everyone, we believe everybody has a story. Yeah, be it as a single person, be it as a mother, a parent, a father, like
A
someone,
business or
a
a business,
business
an
owner,
entrepreneur. Yeah,
yeah, like a career person, like
yeah.
everyone has a story, and we want to hear those stories.
Yeah, the stories and share the story with the world and
Yeah,
celebrate African Caribbean in this nation of ours. So the theme for this year really fits into what you're doing. The team talks about building
bridging the gap.
bridges together.
Yeah.
So what you're doing is building those bridges and you're coming collectively together to do it, not just they're doing it on their own, but doing it with another African person,
Yeah.
sharing, and not just with another African, but sharing it in a global space with
Mm-hmm.
global audience, with a lot of people to say, this is my story, come and hear about it. And you break all those barriers that is stopping them from sharing
Yeah.
it. because
Especially the people who have been through the
so many of
things
things, yeah,
you're
yeah.
gonna go through, or like you'll be able to know
You can inspire somebody else, yeah,
how they were able to navigate and all.
navigate it,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So it's good chatting with you.
It's
It's a
lovely chatting with
pleasure.
you, Susan.
I'm hoping to come on the Irish African page on your Instagram to talk to you as well.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to that.
we're looking forward to having you.
So I'm hoping we talk again during the days that you're free, you're able
Yeah.
to chat. I know you're always free in the weekend, so we can do another weekend again and
Okay.
just talk. So
Thank
enjoy
you
the
so
rest
much
of
for
the evening
having
and
me.
hi to the baby.
No problem. Thank you.